Buy or Sell is presented by the Robertson and Cox Real Estate Team. Looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? We've got your back. Centrally located in Radford, Virginia, the RNC team is proudly and professionally serving the New River Valley, Roanoke, and Southwest Virginia. With over 35 combined years of experience, we have all the knowledge needed to help you reach your real estate goals. Contact us today for all of your real estate needs. Visit rncteam.com to learn more.
What's up, Hokie Nation, and welcome into everybody's favorite show, Buy or Sell. It's the UVA edition, and we are so thrilled you could join us on your Friday morning. Let's introduce everybody. I'm your host, Carter Hill, filling in for Giovanni Heater. To my right is our lead analyst and columnist, Chris Coleman. Across the way is our senior staff writer, Andy Bitter. In the fourth chair is our founder and general manager, Will Stewart. And Nick Brown is producing behind the scenes. Let's look at last week's results. Tech wins or ties the turnovers. Andy, you sold it. Chris, you sold it. David, you sold it. Will, the fans sold it. They all got it wrong. Gio and Nick bought it. That's correct. The game ends in a one-score game. Everybody bought it. That hit. It was 31 to 28. Colin Schlee, this is an interesting one. A-plus passing attempts. Everybody bought it. He did not throw 8 passing attempts. He actually threw 7 before leaving the game. So
he was on pace for 28.
7 and 1 quarter. Like, come
7
on.
and 1 quarter.
That was a gimme.
Crazy. Malik Murphy, 3+ rushing attempts. Andy, Chris, you bought it. So did Gio, Nick, Will, and the fans. You guys were incorrect. David bought it, or excuse me, David sold it, and that hit. So David got one up there.
Not a single sack. Not a single sack in that game.
How many rushing attempts do you have? Any?
Zero.
Wow. Well, I was talking with a guy who covers Duke before the game. He's like, yeah, they just like revealed he had a leg injury. He's had a leg injury like all year. That's part of the reason why they never run him in any situation. He's like, well, that would have been good to know for buy or sell.
Well, nice to know that he lit us up on one leg. Yeah.
Well, no sacks.
He doesn't have an arm injury. He has a leg injury.
You said it. No 3rd and 1 QB sneaks. Nothing. Yeah. Just nothing. 3+ combined made field goals. Andy, Nick, Will, the fans, you guys bought it. You guys were correct. Chris, David, Gio, they sold it. They were not correct. The John Love field goal to make it 31-20 made it hit. Which
the
was
one that I was like, what are they doing here? This is an idiotic decision. Then it actually played out perfectly for them.
No doubt.
But they blew it before the half. They should have easily had one already because that halftime situation.
It should have never gotten to that point. Buy or sell standings through week 11. Guys, it's getting interesting. It's been fun for me to watch from the side and now getting to kind of chronicle it all on this last week. The fans, they still lead 49.1%. Will, Andy, you guys are right behind, 47.3. I believe you're a pick or two away from kind of evening this thing up. So there's still a lot of buy or sell left to play, as a football coach would say. Chris, you're at 45.5%, so you're still in the picture. David, 43.6. He's in 5th place. Nicholas, you are 40%. You're in 6th place. And then, oh man, Gio's at 32.7%. So he's in the basement. He's in 7th place. So Andy, I heard you're making the same picks as Gio this weekend.
I was devastated to learn that.
You're like, oh my God.
I was devastated.
Why can't we talk about David and my record for picking games, which is 10-1? I think that's probably going to land us in the playoffs.
So
pretty good record.
I think that should be a late addition. I think Andy would disagree. He'd be like, nope, it was before the season.
I thought we did like buy or sell picks in the preseason where it was like, okay, so are those going to be added to the total?
Okay.
Because I feel like I did pretty well on those.
Andy,
maybe I'm misremembering that. But
all I know is Kyron Jones did not score 30+ touchdowns this season.
I was on the right end of that one. I know that.
Were you? Okay.
Yes.
All right, Andy.
So I got that in my back pocket right now.
Andy, Will, you guys are pretty close. So let's see how this week shakes out. All right, first line. Pop Watson, 15+ completions. Essentially, is going to play. I think we know the answer. But Andy, you bought it. Or excuse me, I need to let you guys read this. So Andy, go ahead.
I bought this one. I mean, completions, it's not like attempts. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit more than that. And yeah, I looked at the completions that Tech quarterbacks have had all year, even when they haven't made it to 15, they're around 14, 13. So then in that neighborhood, I think he threw the ball pretty well last week, so I bought this one.
Chris, what about you?
I actually sold it because I think Tech is going to lean heavily on the run, but I do think he'll throw for a decent number of yards. I think his yards per attempt, yards per completion will be pretty high.
Will.
I'm with Chris. I'm selling it because I think they're going to lean pretty hard on Tuten and run the football a lot.
Nick.
I bought it. Oh, no, I sold it.
Sold it.
Yes, yeah, I did sell it. Golly, I'm forgetting my own picks. But yes, I sold it.
By the way, David bought it and Gio bought it. But good call, yes. 15 plus completions is not your gimme always going to get it.
Well,
So.
you say, oh, they're going to lean on Tuten. I mean, the game that Tuten set the rushing record, they still had 14 completions in that game. So they were right there
Fair.
on the cusp. Granted, they
Fair.
were 14 of 18 in that game, but passing, but right there. So I think
Also,
they're in the neighborhood.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to spoil your pick. I'm still getting used to the whole buy or sell
Oh,
thing,
yeah, I'm sure people were on pins and needles waiting
Yeah,
to see what I had to
absolutely,
say about that.
absolutely. Ollie Jennings, 3+ receptions. Will, we'll start with you.
I'm selling it. There's not a whole lot of reasoning or logic behind that. Has he had 3 all year, guys?
Oh, he had a huge game against
He had
5 or
us.
6
six
last
against,
week.
6 last week.
He had 7 coming into the game, and he had 6 last week.
I knew he had a ton of yardage. I didn't know how many catches he had. All right, I'm selling it.
Selling. Okay. What about you, Andy?
I bought this one because I think he and Pop Watson sort of have a pretty good connection. For a while there, Ali was playing on the second team and stuff, and Pop Watson was running the second team in various parts of practice. So I think they have a little bit of connection there. I like that. I'll buy this to get
Man,
there.
you don't get that insight just anywhere.
No. TechSideline.com. $12 a month. $12 a month. Chris, what about you?
I bought it as well for the exact same reasoning as Andy. I think he's finally healthy. He seems to be in a little bit of a groove, and I think Virginia Tech might be, trying to get him, making a concerted effort a little bit more to try to get him the ball, making him the primary read. And like Andy said, I think he's got a good rapport with Pop.
Mr. Nick Brown.
He seemed like a safety valve for Pop Watson last week. It just felt like whenever Pop was in some duress, he's like, oh shoot, just get it to Ollie. So, yeah, that's why I picked it by.
All right. Gio bought it. David bought it. So a little bit up for grabs there, Mr. Stewart. A little bit up for grabs.
Yeah, I should have bought it.
Bayshot Tuten, 75+ rushing yards. Chris, we'll start with you.
I bought it.
Okay.
I thought, he did well last week against Duke and now has another week. And I think if Virginia Tech ends up starting a third-string quarterback, they will want to make a concerted effort to get the ball in Tuten's hands. So, I'm buying that one.
Andy.
I bought, and I didn't even. This was half a second. I bought this one. I didn't even have to think about this one.
Okay.
If it was 100, maybe think more, like 115 or something like that. I'd definitely have to think about it. But 75, I think he gets there pretty easily.
Will.
If he's on the field for all 4 quarters, he will easily have 75 yards rushing.
I agree. All right, Nick.
Bye.
Yeah, another bad line, but I thought the Colin Schley line was bad. So
True.
And that ended up being
That's
my
true.
greatest line ever. So I don't want to say it's the Nick Brown curse, but if Tuten goes down in like the second quarter with 73 rushing yards, it's the Nick Brown curse.
You're always saying how bad your lines are. We're all under 50%.
I was going to say, yeah.
Like, even the fans are winning. They're 49, I think.
49,
so, yeah.
yep.
You're making money on this. Vegas is making out like a bandit.
David bought it. Gio bought it. And like you said on Monday, yeah, Nick, if this one doesn't hit, man, like you're like Vegas out there. Like something wonky is happening out there in Blacksburg, Virginia. All right. UVA scores 17+ points. Nick, we'll actually start with you.
I forgot. No, I sold it.
You sold it,
because
yep.
I said they scored 14 points. 34-14 was my pick, so that's my pick.
Will.
I am buying it because I predicted. I predicted 27-13. I misremembered.
You do this every week.
This is not the
You
first
hedge your
time.
bets on every single one.
This is not the first time I've contradicted
He did
myself.
it twice last week.
looks like I'm buying it.
All right, so you're sticking with buy.
Yes. Well, I
Okay.
have to. It's in the graphics.
Well, that's true. Yeah, it's too late. So, all right, Andy.
I bought this one. 21 seems like a reasonable number to get to, and I don't think Virginia Tech's playing lights out on defense. I mean, Duke was not scoring a lot of points at all, and they put up 31 last week. So I like UVA to get to 17. I have them at 21 in this game at least, so bye.
All right, Chris.
I bought it. I have him scoring exactly 17.
Okay. David bought it, and Gio bought it. So Nick is the only one selling it. Not a lot of faith in Anthony Calandria. Not a lot of faith. Last one. Virginia Tech and Virginia combined for 4+ passing touchdowns. Andy, we'll start with you.
I kind of went back and forth on this one. I sold it. You get your third string guy. I think for the Hokies, I think you're going to run the ball a lot. Calandria does like to chuck it around. And I don't know if, even if he scores 3, that seems like a stretch. 3 passing touchdowns on one side. And so 4 seemed like too much, so I'm going to sell this one.
How about Chris?
I sold this one as well. Calandria's got 13 through 11 games, so just over 1 per game, and Virginia Tech starting a third-string quarterback most likely. So I sold this one.
Will.
I'm selling it as well, but I actually don't feel good about it. I could see Calandria getting 2, Pop getting 2, and but anyway, I sold it.
All right, Nick.
Remember, pop passes also count. So if like a Jalen Lane in motion, pop pass goes for 80 yards. That is a touchdown. So I don't know. I still sold it.
So
But
what
I'm
your
very
Pop
nervous.
pass
I'm
is
very-
not a pass by Pop Watson, just to be specific.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, this is
am
a game.
nervous.
This is a game where you've seen the last couple of years where they run a verse, then the receiver throws it for a touchdown too. We saw that with Burmeister caught a touchdown. Did they have one last year, or they just ran a reverse and it was the Tucker Holloway
it
and
was Tucker Holloway.
Yes, that's
UVA
right.
had just completely given up on the play and didn't even try to tackle him going to the end zone.
David bought it and Gio sold it. So last week of the regular season, and by the way, if Virginia Tech loses, that's their season. So you guys are done with buy or sell. I assume you're doing one for the bowl game, if there is a bowl game.
Sure.
All right, we'll see how things shake out. So anyway, appreciate you guys tuning in to buy or sell. Hopefully there'll be one more in the middle of December if Virginia Tech can take care of business on Saturday. But until then, for Chris Coleman, Andy Bitter, Will Stewart, Nick Brown, I'm Carter Hill. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you very soon.